And for more on the outcome of the meeting, let's talk to a public affairs analyst, Chukwuma Okenwa, who joins us via Zoom from Enugu. Good to have you join us, Chukwuma Okenwa. Let's look at... I want to discuss some of the resolutions from that meeting with you, and I want to look at them one after the other. The most prevailing one, a lot of people would say, would be the call for the federal government to urgently convoke a national dialogue to address the widespread agitations in the country. Do you think, because we've had a national confab, those resolutions from that confab were not even implemented, at least to a great extent. Do you think that where we are now, we do need some sort of national conference or dialogue?
Very, very important. But then I am afraid that if we do the national conference or dialogue like that was done with the confab, if nothing is done, if there is no political will to implement the gains of the confab, the gains of the national dialogue, it will go the same way like it did in 2014. So it's not just enough to gather to talk, but then what even stops the nation from genuinely taking a look at the national confab, the gains, the ideals of those confab, and implement it? I think it's long overdue.
So again, you talked about implementation, and which is, a lot of people will also say it's very, very key. And talking about implementation, people have always talked about restructuring, ensuring that we have the evolution of state policing, which was also one of the calls by the state government, giving them the authority to take charge of security in their domain. Would that go a long way, or how far would that go in ensuring that we stem the tide of the level of insecurity we're seeing now in the country?
It will go a very long way. It is expected of a federal system like Nigeria to have state police force, and even up to the community level, because people know themselves, and when you are from a particular community and elected to serve in that community, you know the criminals that are there. That will certainly lead to more efficient control on the security. But then it does appear that when it comes to like key issues, which I think the governors this time around made bold to confront on a different front, the three major issues that it appear the federal government has always avoided. And that is the fact that first, the unity of Nigeria ought to be negotiable, right? And I love the fact that they endorsed the idea of one Nigeria, but then on the basis of fairness, of justice, of equity, that actually it means that the unity of the nation is already up for negotiation. And what that will help is to strengthen our unity. They also discussed about some issues of security we've always avoided. Issues like open grazing. I mean, who does that in 21st century? We see like cows entering into the farms, destroying plantations, and what that has come of age is leading to threats, threats in food security. And I'm glad they make bold to look at some of these key issues, aside from evolution of state police, to also look at ban on open grazing. And then in terms of economy, taking a holistic look at the revenue sharing formula. I mean, a situation where we have very strong center, not just in security, but economically, in terms of resource control, it doesn't do well to our subnationals and to the overall development of the nation. So I think the recommendations are quite apt, and something that ought to be looked at. The need to negotiate the unity of Nigeria on the basis of...
I just want to quickly jump in here. Allow me butt in, Mr. Okenwa, because this meeting came, and you have highlighted the things that stood out for you from that meeting. But this meeting came just as there was another meeting in Abuja by the president and heads of security agencies and some members of his cabinet. They say they now have some sort of strategy to deal with insecurity in the South-South and the Southeast. What would you like to see, a level of collaboration between the governors and the presidency?
Certainly, very, very important. But of course, the first form of collaboration which we expect, which we've also started seeing, is that for the very first time we could see all of the governors of the Southern Abstraction come together to discuss a very important matter as strong as security. And I believe with that, they didn't just also resort to like collaborating with themselves, but also placed a call to the federal government on the need to network, for there to be a collaboration between the federal and the subnationals to ensure that we have a more secure nation, especially with the rising concerns of insecurity in the southern part of Nigeria, which has not been enough for the past 1 month, a cause for concern.
Absolutely. Public affairs analyst Chukwuma Okenwa, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you.